Hello to you all. This is an introduction of African economy. The continent of Africa is blessed and full of natural resources, as from the north to the south and the east to the west. For mineral resources in one hand, there are diamonds, gold, iron ore, bauxite, aluminium, uranium, phosphate, and many others. On the other hand, there are varieties of agricultural produce and fertile soil. As for tourism, it is full of wildlife, sea creatures, beautiful landscape, woodland, deep forests, waterfalls, lakes, running water from hills to the valleys, the wonderful sea view, the cloud, the snow, the rainbow reflecting on the mountain from end to end, the inactive volcanic mountains, the sand dune, the desert, and the semi-arid areas. You may find all these natural resources in the continent of one race Africa. But yet, the Africans are dying of hunger, drought, malnutrition, immigrating to other continents for survival. If the question is to be answered, who are responsible for the impoverishment of African economy? Let us look into the economy of each one of the countries in Africa. Then you may give your opinion if wish. The world is part of Africa, and Africa is part of the world we live in. Do not destroy the wonders and beauties of our only beloved earth. Thank you so much. The economy of Mozambique. Mozambique is one of the poorest and most underdeveloped countries in the world. Mozambique is a member of the Southern African Development Community. The Southern African Development Community Free Trade Protocol is aimed at making the Southern African region more competitive by eliminating tariffs and other trade barriers. The World Bank in 2007 talked of Mozambique's blistering pace of economic growth. A joint donor government study in early 2007 said Mozambique is generally considered an aid success story. The IMF in early 2007 said Mozambique is a success story in Sub-Saharan Africa. Yet, despite this apparent success, both the World Bank and the UNICEF use the word paradox to describe rising chronic child malnutrition in the face of GDP growth. In a 2006 survey, 3/4 of Mozambicans said that in the past 5 years, their economic position had remained the same or become worse. The resettlement of Civil War refugees and successful economic reform have led to a high growth rate. The country enjoys a remarkable recovery, achieving an average annual rate of economic growth of 8% between 1996 and 2006, and between 6 to 7% from 2006 to 2011. Rapid expansion in the future hinges on several major foreign investment projects continued economic reform, and the revival of the agriculture, transportation, and tourism sectors. In 2013, about 80% of the population was employed in agriculture, the majority of whom were engaged in small-scale subsistence farming, which still suffer from inadequate infrastructure, commercial networks, and investment. However, in 2012, more than 90% of Mozambique's arable land was still uncultivated. In 2013, a BBC article reported that starting in 2009, Portuguese had been returning to Mozambique because of the growing economy in Mozambique and the poor economic situation in Portugal. Mozambique's economy has been shaken by a number of corruption scandals. In July 2011, the government proposed new anti-corruption laws to criminalize embezzlement, influence spending, and graft, following numerous instances of the theft of public money. The natural resources. The mineral industry of Mozambique plays a significant role in the world's production of aluminium, beryllium, and titanium. Other domestically significant mineral processing operations include cement and natural gas. Mozambique is endowed with rich and extensive natural resources. The country's economy is based largely on agriculture, but industry, mainly food and beverages, chemical manufacturing, aluminium, and petroleum production is growing.